Welcome to another match in the midst of the lower bracket elimination hell. This time it's two second seeds, one from the LEC, the other from the LPL. It's G2 going against BLG. And as always, let's stop talking and start walking towards game one in this matchup.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Let's get into another game one of this MSI 2023, and we start with G2 on the blue side with Broken Blade in the top lane on the Gragas, Yike on the Maokai, Caps on the Yasuo, a black screen that causes a bit of confusion, but it's Hansama on the Jinx, and Mickey on the Blitzcrank. And for BLG, set to be one of the tournament's favorites, they start from the red side with Ben on the Cassante, Sun on the Wukong, Yagao playing the Silas, and Elk on the Aphelios is completed by on the Lulu. And we go straight into minute 4 where it's a dive by Sun and his bot laners. And they go straight for the Jinx of Hansama, take him down. Mickey can trade one back. But in the end, the Wukong will make it a 2-for-1 and we go straight into the fight for the first dragon. Where Sun dishes in on Mickey, but he gets knocked up by the Blitzcrank E. And finally, both will fall. G2, they lose their supporter, but BLG, they will lose their smite. And so the team from the LEC is clearly an advantage now to secure the objective. BLG, they're now going for it at Yagao. He's going in on Yike, tries to keep him away, but the jungler will take the objective for G2. He then has to flash for his life. G2 now on the retreat, and Hansama, he's kiting the hell out of his fish bones. But Elk on the red white Aphelios, he flashes in and takes out Caps. A minute later we see Sun and Caps there in the topside river, and it's a Cyclone Wukong into the clone, into another Cyclone, and there's just too much for the Yasuo. The first herald is secured by BLG, and we now see a nature's grasp creeping in on Elk and Mickey Socket will pull the all out into the lines of greyness. And speaking of deadly hooks, here comes another one into the power fist of the Blitzcranks. But this time, the situation gets sticky for the G2 supporter as Sun and On they combine to help the Aphelios. The hook dramatically backfires, and now it's Hansama there on the retreat running for his life. But he immediately turns as the rest of his team arrives. The herald gets spawned as well. Caps and Yike are going for Sun. Caps now dashes away. He supports Broken Blade 2 against 3 members, but the Yasuo gets low, and finally it will be On taking the kill. BLG, they take down 2 and they are now on the retreat, but there's an angry girl from the Piltover lane saying, On, you won't get away, and Hansama, with the super mega death rocket, trades one back. And we now look at Sun, who has to suffer all the CC that a Maokai and a Blitzcrank can deal. On comes in desperately trying to help his jungler Sama, who dashes away, but he will get slain, and so On is left there in the misery as well. G2, they take O2, and they take the next dragon, but we look at Mickey, who pulls an out with his hook, knocks him up into the flame chompers of the Jinx, but both the ADC and the supporter will fall, and its Yike gets taken out. It's a 2-for-1 for BLG. And they also take the other turret in the bot lane, and we're now going for the second herald, which is brought down by G2, and now they pull in Yagao, who goes into the stopwatch, but he remains in the circle of pure madness of G2. No chance for him to survive there, but also Caps, he goes into the rest of BLG. He will fall, but his life gets traded back by Hansama, who gets now taken with the all-out by the Cassante. But in the end, it's Mickey taking down the pride of Nazuma. Now we see the outer turret in the top lane fall. And about half a minute later, we see Ben attacking Mickey there. But there's an angry Jinx and a Maokai saying, You want to dismantle our automaton? We don't think so. And together, as a 3 with Mickey, they will take him out. But in the meantime, they also lose the outer turret in the top lane. Third dragon about to spawn, and we see Sun going in for Yike. Both junglers there in the fight. It's a cycling into the crashing blow, and now Yagao comes in, hijacks the Maokai ult. BLG there first to the fight, and so it's Yike who falls first. Broken Blade throws the barrel into the pit. Caps follows with the last breath on Elk, but he just flashes out of the pit. So G2, they can find a kill as Hansama goes down. Broken Blade follows, and now it's 3 members already grey screened. Mickey with a nice hook on Elk saves his mid laner there, but the question is for how long, because the ignite is ticking on Caps. The Aphelios just destroys the Blitzcrank, and now it's only Caps left, who runs towards the enemy tower looking for an execute, but it's just not enough time passed. And so while the respawn timers are ticking on the sides of G2, it's BLG taking the Mountain Drake and the outer mid lane turret to find themselves in a comfortable 4,000 gold lead. And for G2, they are looking to answer this with Shelly on the bottom right screen. We see her crushing into the tier 1. Now we go over to the Baronesha, where it's G2, all 5 members in the pit, and they take the objective. And they pull in Bin as well, but the Cassante is just too tanky, they cannot kill him. But instead it's Sun with the Cyclone, knocking up 4 members of G2, and he single-handedly won this team fight. BLG, they destroyed G2 in the blink of an eye. And now it's only Yike surviving. Yagao turns golden, was at 1 HP for a second, and together with On there chasing down the Maokai in the jungle. But the mighty tree won't just fall, it's a twisted advance until the Bramble Smash on the yard. Yagao goes in, but he gets smarted into the gray screen. And now Yike tries to take out On as well, but he gets polymorphed, and then Yalk, he will complete the ace. BLG, they will take the second Mountain Dragon, lose the outer turret in the bot lane, but they will take the inner one here in the mid lane. And we're more than 26 minutes into the game already as we see BLG on the advance through the mid lane, and Mickey, he gets rooted by the Aphelios, and then the charging Total Strikes pull him into death. And now we see Broken Blade hit by the sniper rifle of the Aphelios. The Graviton will then root him, and he lost already more than half of his HP. The Eject Nature's Cross comes in, and BLG, they're now going for it, so they check out, they take out Broken Blade. But Caps and Hansama in return, they take out Elk, and so the Aphelios is gone, but the Jinx will follow. No ADCs for both teams, but BLG, they focus now on Yike. Knock him up, stun him, and now it's 3-4 members chopping down the jungle tree. Only Caps managed to get away there alive. Mickey already respawned, but the two of them will not be enough to protect the inhib turret and the inhibitor itself, and so the super minion wave is invited to the party. It's Broken Blade and Mickey, the vanguard for their team, but the stolen barrel of the Gragas throws them into the lines of destruction, and the Gragas gets beaten with its own weapon. Yagao goes in, catches Mickey with his E, and Summer fires the Super Mega Death Rocket, but it's not enough to save a supporter, as Caps gets taken with the all-out of the Cassandra into the jungle of no return. G2, they manage to take out the Wukong, but the Gale Force of Hell will kill the enemy ADC, and so it's only Yike, the last line of defense, and the Maokai tree is history. And so it will be BLG winning this action-packed game 1 with 44 kills in total in slightly under 30 minutes. And we hope that there will not be less entertainment. And game 2. Game number 2. Both teams keep their sides. It's G2 starting from blue side again with Broken Blade on the Cassandra, Yike again on the Maokai, Caps on the Syndra, Hansama stays with the Jinx, and Mickey, he's now on the Janna. And for BLG, let's start with the bot laners this time because they stay the same. It's again Aphelios and Lulu played by Elkin on Yagao on the mid lane on the Ahri now, Sun on the Sejuani, and Ben, he's on the Jax. And we go quickly into the bot lane where it's On with a solo kill against his role opponent Mickey. It's first blood going to the little yardle, and now we see a dive there. After almost 5 minutes, it's 4 members of G2, including Caps and Yike, and they're taking back the kill from On. The first dragon gets taken by BLG, and we look into the mid lane where Caps gets sent into the glacial prison by Sun and Yagao and sent back to his base. G2, they will take the first hold, and we skip some time, and are now already 30 minutes into the game where we see a dive again by G2, again with 4 members, but this time Bin will be the target, the Great Master at Arms doing everything to defend himself under the turret. But then the lunatic Hansama loses his patience and throws a Super Mega Death Rocket to put an end to this. But in the meantime, BLG, they had enough time to take the second dragon. And also, the outer turret in the bot lane is Yagao. He's not trapped under the turret, but he goes to the stopwatch to avoid the unleashed power of Caps Syndra. And now On comes by to help his mid laner to escape. Caps, he conjures a sphere, throws it at Yagao, and then he scatters the weak. The Ahri gets stunned, but she survives, unlike Mickey, who gets slain by the glacial prison bowler of Sun. And he's now hunting down Caps, going in with the Arctic Assault, and he slays the Syndra. And now it's Hansama and Yike running for their lives. The turrets that would give him sanctuary are still far on the horizon. And finally, it's the glitter lance of On taking down the Jinx. And so just seconds later, it's taking the outer turret in the mid lane. After 16 minutes, the second Herring goes to BLG and the tier 1 on the top lane as well. And another 2 minutes later, we see BLG trading the top lane tier 1 against Soul Point. And we stay in the top lane where we see Yagao dashing in and bursting down half of Caps' health bar. The two top laners are about to teleport in. Yike and On are in the mix too. The Nature's Grass is only doing so much as Bin and Sun are going for Broken Blade. He gets stunned there by the permafrost of the Sejuani and taken down. And now the withdrawal of G2 is on. And on the other side is Sun leading the charge for BLG, flashing in. But we will take a look at the right side screen where it's coming in with the Moonlight Vigil on Mickey. The Monsoon sends him away, but he lets the fatal chakram fly after a flash. And also Caps gets taken out. And so it's BLG recklessly on the advance through the top lane with Shelly. She charges into the tier 2. It gets destroyed, and so does the inhib turret. And we're back in the mid lane where the Jenna Q connects to Elk. Rogueblade follows with the Kasati and Hansama. He squeezes the fish bones as hard as he can. And G2, they find the kill on Elk and on the BLG supporter. They are back into this game as they take the Baronesha next with a bounty on top of it. And we're now in the bot side jungle where Gao flashes into the Dragon Pit safety. And all of G2 is going for soon, and it will be the Lunatic Jinx collecting the kill. And it's soul point denied after 23.5 minutes, and also the bot lane tier 1 gets taken by the LEC second seed. They will lose their inner turret in the mid lane, but we skip 4 minutes to see them take the next Baronesha as well. And we will go into the Dragon fight where we see a Gao going in, activating Sonya, and Sunny will take Dragon Soul for BLG, but G2, they are now going for it. Gao is already fallen. Sunny gets knocked out by the Howling Gale of the Jenna, and it will be on Summer taking the double kill. Broken Blade knocks up Elk with his Q, follows with All Out. And so G2, they lose Dragon Soul, but they take down 3 members and the outer turret in the mid lane. The inner one in the top lane as well. But now we see a Maokai tree standing in the wrong side of the jungle. And it's the whole team of BLG chopping him down. 33 minutes into the game, we see the charm of Gao missing, but Caps scatters the weak, and then he follows with Unleashed Power of the Syndra. We're now already 3 Barons into the game. Ben hops in, but G2 will secure it. And now the Jax gets resurrected by the Guardian Angel. As the rest of his team gets chased away there through the river. Ben comes out of the stasis, hops out of the Dragon Pit looking for some safe ground somewhere, but Summer says no, you won't find any. And we're just some seconds later in the mid lane where we see this Jenna Q knocking out 4 members of BLG. And so soon he cannot be protected by the rest of his team. He gets slain by Hansama. Elk, he flashes in with the Courage Ball of Despair. He will fall. Gao follows. And now it's only on flashing away there with his life. And the crowd in the Copper Box Arena is going nuts as G2 is about to win the second game of this series. It is not much left in their way. Ben, the Grandmaster at Arms, trying to do anything to fend off the opponent, but he will be slain in the blink of an eye, and now it's only a little Yordle and the respawning Sejuani watching their base getting destroyed. And this series is all even out. We go into a game 3 with nothing but the highest expectations after 2 of those banger games that we had so far. And we're back to take this dance around the rift into round number 3, and for the 3rd time both teams are starting from the same sides. It's G2 from blue with Broken Blade on the Darius, Yike on the Viego, Caps playing Annie and Tibbers, Hansama for the 3rd time on the Jinx, and Mickey, like in the game before, with the Janna. And for BLG, their bot lane stays the same for the 3rd time. It's Elkin on Aphelios and Lulu, Yagao on the Ahri, Sun on the Wukong, and Bin plays the Jax. And speaking of which, we see him dive under the turret there, going with the leap strike to take the first kill of the game. He gets slain in return, but he will collect 100 gold extra for the first kill. And we go into the topside river where we see both mid laners and the junglers. Yagao connects the charm on Caps. He places his Tibbers, but now Caps getting low, has to get away, and soon he chases him down and takes the kill. And so we look at Yai getting chased there by a little but angry Lulu flashing after him, connecting the glitter lamps, the pigs, and then it's the charm Q of Yagao's Ahri. And we look at the fight between both top laners there, trading blows. Broken Blade will fall first, but Bryn follows as he bleeds out. G2, they will take the first Herald, BLG the first Dragon of the game, and we see Shelly crushing into the tier 1 in the bot lane where we are right now to see Yike following soon. He gets slowed by the Jinx Zap, stumped by the Spectral Maul, takes the Super Mega Death Rocket, and then the Heartbreaker will take him down. G2, they trade the Mountain Drake for the outer turret on the top lane. And just seconds later, they manage to take the second Herald of the game as well. And we go into the bot side jungle where it's Caps against Sun. It's the NEW stun into the Tibbers, answered by 2 cyclones of the Wukong. The Super Mega Death Rocket flies in but won't find its target. It's another QW by Caps, but the Moonlight Vigil of Al connects for the follow-up hit. And so Caps will fall, just like the tier 1 in the bot lane. And we go back into the topside river where there's another massacre. Yike with the Flashel takes out his opponent jungler. And so he becomes the fake Wukong now, dashing after Bin. He's going for it, and with another Heartbreak he takes out the Jax as Elk is getting caught there. and slain as well. On G2 they will use the tempo, and by the help of my beloved Rift Lady they will take out the outer turret in the top lane. And Shelly gets off another charge. And also the bot lane tier 1 will fall, and we go back in the top lane where we see Hansama and Caps blast coning in. It's a stun Q into the Tibbers, and Bin will fall. We see the mid lane tier 1 crumble and go into the bot side jungle where we see a cycling Wukong going for Broken Blade. He's accompanied by Elk. The Aphelios goes in, and with the chakrams he collects the shutdown. The third Drake of the game is slain by Sun. The tier 1 in the mid lane on the sides of BLG falls, and we're now at the Baronesha, where we see a Gao getting knocked up by the Jenna-Q of Mickey, stunned by the Tibbers, and taken up by Broken Blade. It's a 5v4 now in favor for G2, and they're going for the Baron. Sun, outside the pit, gets rooted there by the Flame Chompers. It's Yike going for him, leaving the pit with his Heartbreaker. The Wukong will be the first to re-enter the pit, but still it's Yike taking the objective, and now the follow-up team fight, where all members of G2 will survive, and a take out Sun on top of it. And we see the tier 2 in the top lane on the sides of BLG falling and hop straight over into the Dragon Pit, where we see Yike taking the next objective for the LEC second seed, and then it's been getting evaporated by the whole team of G2, who are now chasing down the last remaining members. They're going for Elk first. The Aphelion falls, and now it's on Slain as well. Double kill for Hansama. And the Maniac ADC on the character that is not known for mental health as well goes for Yagao. He has not enough, but he got too greedy there because now it's Sun going in with the nimble strike. A 1-2 cycling, and the ADC is down. But nonetheless, moments later we see G2 taking down the inner turret on the bot lane, and we skip 2 minutes to see this one. In the bot side river where Caps loses almost all of his HP before his Tibbers can lunge for the first punch as he turns gold, and then Yagao will collect the kill. And also on the bot side screen it's Sun with the cycling on Hansama. He's in grave danger, and he gets slain again by the Wukong. And so it will be BLG taking Soul Point with the second Infernal Drake on their sides. And they also slay the Baronesha. The 3 members of G2 are just too little, too late. And so we see BLG chasing after Broken Blade, who just gets away there with his life, but Caps, he comes in for the ultimate flank. Stun Tibbers on Elk, but the damage is just not enough, and so Elk is kiting the Annie into the grey screen. But Yike trades one back as he takes out Yagao, but on the other side it's Mickey taken out there by Bin. But Yike, he gets another kill on the Aphelios as Sun and Bin. They were working down the health bar of Broken Blade until he's counting the respawn time, and now it's Hansama going in, chasing after limping Jax with a zap and another zap. As we now see on there, a little bit out of position, getting caught off guard. But it won't hurt them too much because now BLG, by the hands of Bin, they take down the inner turret in the top lane. Now look at Broken Blade, he activates a stopwatch to bait in the members of BLG. They're going from it, all of a sudden it's Caps and Yike going for Elk, but the damage is just not enough. And soon he finds Hansama, takes out the ADC of G2. And the situation dramatically backfires on them as Elk takes out Broken Blade. Mickey falls. And Yike, he finds himself in the midst of perdition against 4 members of BLG, his Guardian Angel procs, as the little Eddie gets slain. And just seconds later, the last member of G2, and so BLG, they will stampede towards the Nexus to take Game 3. And with it, the lead in this series, where they will now have 2 potential match point games to proceed in the lower bracket elimination hell and send home G2. And for the LEC second seed, it's back against the wall. Time for some comeback. Game number 4, and the first of 2 potential match point games for the team from the LPL, which starts, who would have thought, from the red side again, with Ben on the Gwen, Sun on the Viego, Yagao on the Lissandra, and on their bot lane. It has changed. It is now Elkanon on the Lucian Army duo. And for G2, it's Broken Blade on the Jace, Yike playing the Gragas, Caps on the Cassante, and Hansama, he's now on the Aphelios, and Mickey, he's playing the Brawn. 4.5 minutes into the game, we see the first gank. It's Caps, already under the turret, and then Yike with the flash body slam on Yagao. And the Cassante finally sends him into the grey. We go into the fight for the first herald, where we see Mickey there getting rooted by the Ring of Frost, then stunned, and the Snip almost takes all of his life, but it will be Sun who takes him down in the end. Now it's Caps getting stunned, but he will be able to flash away there, save his life, unlike Yike, who gets slain on the Gragas, and so the herald goes to BLG. And we go into the bot lane where it's a 2v1 and it's a Moonlight Vigil on Elk, followed by the Graviton Stun and the Illusionist Dart. A minute later, BLG will secure the first dragon of the game, and just some seconds later we go down as we see this. It's an engage by Mickey and Tansama, but as soon comes by, the tables turn on this fight, and all of a sudden Mickey finds himself hunted by 3 members of BLG and they will take him down. After 40 minutes, it's Broken Blade in the top lane, surprised there by Bin and Jagao. He's caught by the Frozen Tomb, rooted by the Everfrost, limps away with a little bit of HP on his turret, but finally he's sent back to his base. Caps destroys the bot lane tier 1 as soon as able to take the second herald of the game, and we find ourselves in the mid lane, where we see Shelly taking down the tier 1 there on the sides of G2. And BLG there now in the retreat, soon a little bit separated from his team, and so it's Caps with the Pathmaker stunning him, but they can just not find a kill, and so it's Elk with the calling on Summer. G2, they lose their ADC, but the fight continues as Yagao goes into the Frozen Tomb. Bin comes in with a skip and slash, and also Sun, he's low, but they manage to take on Caps. And also Yike will lose his life against the bot laners of BLG. And we're only 20 seconds later where we see Yagao putting Mickey in the Frozen Tomb, and together with Bin, they are chasing down the support of G2. They take the dragon, they take the kill, and we're on the bot side jungle of G2 to see this one here. It is Elk again with the calling on Summer, but Mickey blocks it like a bodyguard's delight. But he will pay for this with his life. And so BLG, they are pushing towards the tier 2 in the top lane, where Shun goes in with a suicide heartbreaker there, trading 1 for 1. Top lane tier 1 taken by Broken Blade. If we look at the dragon fight, and it's Yagao going in with the Rune of Frost, rooting 2 people, goes into the Frozen Tomb, and it will leave Caps isolated. The mid lane of G2 falls, and now it's Elk on the Lucian, going for Ansama with the relentless pursuit into the piercing light, takes him down. And Mickey, he's again the bodyguard for his team. This time he saves Yike and sacrifices his life. As we see BLG taking the Baroness after 23 minutes, and just a minute later they're going for Soul Point. And now they're going through the mid lane where they find Caps on a greedy recall. And the Cassante will be punished for this. He will lose his life and his team. The inner turret in the mid lane, and we see BLG now just moments later taking the tier 1 in the top lane as well. And it will be Bin a minute later there taking the outer turret in the bot lane. And we now see another culling coming in from Elk on Broken Blade. This Lucian is just a horrific malice for the team from the LEC. After a bit more than 27 minutes, Bin will take care of the mid lane inhib turret, and the rest of his team will tear down the tier 2 in the top lane. And we go for Dragon Soul, where he goes in on Sun with the body slam, but he answers back with a heartbreaker. Yagao flashes over the wall to join Bin. He puts Mickey in the Frozen Tomb, and Yike went in with another flash body slam, this time on Elk, trying to take out the ADC. Both will go into the stopwatch, and both will fall immediately after they come back, and so does Yagao. But also Han Summer falls to the feet of the snipping seamstress, and Bin will take a triple kill as he takes out Broken Blade, and also Caps has fallen. G2, they got aced, and Bin, he's already in the base, going for the Nexus turret. And so BLG will take the series and send home G2. With almost the whole Copper Box Arena standing behind the team from the LEC, it was just not enough against this gigantic Colossus from the LPL.
Lost in space, superhero vibes, yo.